Namaskaram. Bhagavad Gita. After completion of chapter 3, today we are moving to chapter 4. Chapter 4 is taking us to a higher plane from the Sankhya Yogam, which is the yoga of knowledge, and Karma Yogam. Having completed that, and in between, Bhagavan is constantly reminding us for getting ourselves detached from what is called the Prakriti around us, the materialistic world. And then he wants us to be with Atma. Having given an introduction, Bhagavan wanted to take us to the next level, that is called Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. This is a beautiful chapter because so far Bhagavan was not showing his nature as Bhagavan. Probably Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yogam is where Bhagavan is telling that I belong to that tradition where Brahma, Mariji, Kashyapa, Surya, and then when he in the previous chapter mentioned taking example of Janaka and explaining that Janaka is following and therefore why not Arjuna? That means Bhagavan himself, that time we mentioned Bhagavan himself is taking example of higher Purushas, whereas he always took the lowest strategy of the levels in which without having much ego. And we also mentioned that he is such a person who became the chariot driver for Arjuna. And there are many such examples which we quoted during that time. But now we should also understand the context in which the Gita is being told. I'm sure there would have been many occasions because Arjuna is also quite senior. He has got his son and then grandchild. Krishna is also had a lot of association with Arjuna during his marriage, during the Panjali's time, helping Panjali. All such places where Bhagavan has shown his power and then shown that he is not an ordinary man and he is a supernatural person. But probably he was not opening up, telling everybody or telling somebody that yes, I am such a person. Therefore, here he is declaring that he belongs to that tradition. He is not an ordinary person. And he is also mentioning, this is a secret which I am telling you because you are close to me. So, if you look at Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yogam, probably this is, when we look at each chapter, we feel that that is much more important than the earlier chapter, or this is most important, that keeps coming. We have seen Sankhya Yogam, Karma Yoga, maybe as equivalent to that or maybe little higher than that is Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, because it has got Jnanam, it has got Karmam, and it has got a Sannyasam also. And probably the most popular song of Bhagavad Gita, which everyone would have quoted as many times as he want, would have been from this chapter. I'm sure you know yada yada hi dharmasya the glanir bharata abhyudhanam dharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. When it tells this, it's clear that he is proclaiming himself that he is not an ordinary person. He has taken birth for such an activity. So maybe you will see the Vishwarupam later, but this is a introductory part of his Vishwarupam. Therefore it is much more important, and there is little bit of bhakti which is to be added to this. Devotion is coming, and devotion in its pinnacle, probably that is what sannyasam, because the sannyasis keep devotion not in action, but they keep in their hridayam. Their thoughts are also such devotional. So here the yoga of it's called karma jnana sannyasa yogam. Sometimes it's also called sannyasa yogam, the yoga of knowledge, as well as action which is disciplined with abundance of knowledge. Here the first few slokas, the glory of God and attributes of God, attributes of karma yoga added to God, and selfless action, and all such things are described. Then Bhagavan will move on to the conduct of what a yogi or a sage is supposed to do, and then how the glory is described for them, and different forms of sacrifices also will come, and what are the benefits out of it, what fruits you will get when you do such activities. And then therefore the sannyasam is there, action is there, and the knowledge is also described here, and the beauty of knowledge, the glory of knowledge, that is also told. But here knowledge has to go through a disciplined succession. That discipline, or the history of Bhagavad Gita as a discipline, how the hierarchy is maintained, is also explained by Bhagavan. The duty or the vision and the mission of Bhagavan is being explained to us. As a devotional service, how actions can be done. How do you learn things from that hierarchy? Therefore, importance of a disciplined master, a bona fide master, a spiritual master, is essential for you to learn. That importance of mastery is what Bhagavan is explaining here. That is for each one of us to know that we need a hierarchy. That is why when we talk about Guru Parampara, we keep chanting about different gurus, and then we say that I belong to that Guru Parampara. There is no point in chanting that unless you have somebody to say that Sadashiva Samarambha, and then you say the present Guru with whom, or the Guru whom you had, has to be in mind, and you should surrender to him. Such people only can talk about the hierarchy. Just chanting that Guru Parampara sloka is actually useless, and you should not do it unless you have a Guru who accepted you as a disciple. You accepting somebody as a Guru is different. That Guru accepting you as a disciple needs you get a qualification. So that needs to understand the Parampara and surrender to him and follow what he says. So that importance of a Guru for a transcendental knowledge generation is very, very essential. That is also Bhagavan establishing here, because it is the knowledge yoga. It has got sannyasam. Sannyasam also has got a tradition, and it has got a discipline, and it has got a parampara to be followed. Then all that what you do with the knowledge can burn it. Knowledge is like a fire. Therefore, Bhagavan also will ask Arjuna to fight. So this has got a karma yoga, This has got Jnana Yoga. That Jnana, not the normal ABCD knowledge, that is the transcendental knowledge, the godly knowledge, the divine knowledge, the spiritual knowledge, the Atma knowledge, the Atma Tattva, understanding that Nijam, the essence, content is what Bhagavan is establishing here. And he also explains what is the individual soul, what is Jiva, and what is the relation to God, what is liberation, what is moksham, what is realization. All that can be understood because all of them are related. When explains about the tradition of Bhagavad Gita or heritage of Bhagavad Gita or history of Bhagavad Gita, or these not as a Gita but as a message, the contents of the message, the reason why the descendants are there, why there is a periodic descendants requirement. That is what we say Glanir Bhavati Bharata. And to whenever there is an equilibrium change, he comes, that requirement he establishes. The transcendental nature as Krishna, the part of Vishnu, how is it coming? The complexity of action, the types of sacrifice, the supreme spiritual peace what somebody can get. That is what the Atma knowledge. All that Bhagavan will tell. There is only one sloka for Arjuna here, where in fact he is not able to understand what Bhagavan is saying as a beginning itself, as a continuation to the Karma Yoga. Bhagavan started to the sannyasam and glorifying the karma into the highest level and added Jnanam along with that. And those reasonings and all, what is essentially Bhagavan is trying to tell, that he had a doubt and he had one question, and that will come in the early part of the slokas. Today probably we will look at it. That then he says why that reason. That is where Bhagavan, because of the question what Arjuna had, Bhagavan had to tell his reason behind his incarnation. That is what Bhagavan has to tell. So there is very specific reason for Bhagavan explaining the cause or why he is taking this Janma. That is also coming as part of this. So let us look at the slokas first and then get into the details by sloka. So Jnana, Karma, Sannyasa, Yoga, Gita chapter number 4, where the beginning itself Bhagavan starts his discourse. In contrast to what in the earlier, here the Bhagavan is trying to tell the secret. Therefore, look at the sloka very carefully. You will see the avatara, the incarnation, the avatara secret. He also explains the Chadurvarnyam, the karma rahasyam, and therefore it's a secret guhyam. Not guhyataram, guhyatama. That also will come. And the sloka goes like this. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Imam Vivaswate Yogam Proktavana Hamavyayam Vivaswan Manave Praha Manurichwagave Bravit Evam Parambara Praptam Imam Rajarshayo Viduhu Sakale Neha Mahata Yogo Nashtaparam Tapam Sa Evayam Mayatidhya Yoga Prokta Puratanaham Bhaktosi Me Sakha Cheti Rahasyam Heta Duttamam Varjuna Uvacha Aparam Bhavato Janma Param Janma Vivaswataha Kathametat Vijanita Vijaniyam त्वमादौ प्रोक्तवानिति. श्रीभगवानुवाच बहूनि मे व्यतीतानि जन्मानि तव चार्जुन तान्यहं वेद सर्वाणि न त्वं वेत्थ परन्तप. अजोऽपि सन्नव्ययात्मा भूतानामीश्वरोऽपि सन् प्रकृतिं स्वामधिष्ठाय सम्भवाम्यात्म मायया. यथा यथा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानमधर्मस्य तथात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्. परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. So this is what Bhagavan is telling to Arjuna. Sloka number 1, chapter number 4. Shri Bhagavanuvacha imam vivasvate yogam prokta vanahamavyayam vivaswan manave praha manurichvagave bravit. Here there are a lot of reference to Bhagavad Gita. Imam vivasvate yogam. This vivasvate, what the sun god yogam as a relationship to the supreme. Yoga is not yogasana, not physical exercise. Yogam in spiritual sense, in all the holistic sense, in the divine words, in Indian spirituality, as per Sanatana Dharma, yoga is yama niyama asana pranayama pratyahara dharana dhyana samadhi. That means when you reach that level, you reach into the godhood. You reach samadhi. You join with God. That joining with God is called yoga. So therefore, here Bhagavan is explaining that yogam, imam vivasvate yogam, that what yoga which he is explaining here, proktavanaha mavyayam. Prokta, told, instructed, described, what is already told by aham, me, avyayam, which is imperishable, which cannot be lost, aksharam, which doesn't have its charam, because it's God's word. Vivaswan manave praha. That Vivaswan, Vivaswan is sun himself. Vivaswan, Surya, told to Manave, to the mankind, through of the name of, under the name of Vivaswan, for the people, told praha manurichvagave bravit. To whom that knowledge, what Surya told to Manu, Manu told to Manu Richvagave, Manu told to Ichvaga. So he is talking about the tradition. Sun told to Manu, Manu told to Vivaswan Manave Praha, Sun God told to Manu, Manu Richvagave Bravit, Manu told to Ichvaku. That is how it has been spread to the generations. So this is what I am telling now, or this is what I have been telling you in the earlier slokas. This is what I am explaining to you. Hey Arjuna. Therefore, this is not what I am saying. This is my heritage property, which I got from the Surya Bhagavan, or I belong to that tradition. Rama, Krishna, all of them are Surya Vamshajas. That is what Bhagavan is telling. This instruction is imperishable. It is not what I made. It is there from the parampara. It is long back. Date cannot be predicted. It is that old. That old knowledge is what I am explaining to you now. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Imam Vivaswate Yogam Proktavanaham Avyayam Vivaswan Manave Praha Manurichwagave Bravit. This is what Bhagavan says. Now, as continuing, we get to sloka number 2. Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo vidu sakale neha mahata yogo nashta parandava iha mahata. In this world, mahata, it is great. For how long? Kalena. Sa kalena iha mahata. It is from time immemorial, from long passage of time. This is very important. Evam parampara praptam. This is obtained in that parampara. Evam parampara praptam. From tradition we received it. Imam rajarshayo vidu. That science, that knowledge, that saintly, kingly knowledge which we understood. Sa kale. That which is from the tradition. Iha. In this world. Mahata, which is very great. It is not a normal knowledge. It's a great knowledge which we are now describing. Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo vidu, which came from the saintly kings. Rajarsha, the saintly king. Viduhu, they understood that. They did not just hear it. They understood. They lived with that tradition. Why this is being told to Arjuna? I am not giving you a normal knowledge. Rajarshas, all the kingly people who are all saintly kings. Saintly kings means they have a action to be done. Therefore it is a Raja Yoga. And this is a secret. Therefore it is Raja Guhya Yoga. So there is another chapter which is going to come. Raja Guhya Yoga. That means this sloka is an introduction to tell that I am going to explain you further onto that. What tradition they belong to, what knowledge they had, what is the capability which they had, which you are supposed to have. Yogo Nashta Parandapa. Because of its tradition, which was handed over from earlier, nothing was written. It was all from tongue to ear, tongue to ear, tongue to ear. So that tradition, which was continued for longer time, because it is continued for traditions for long time, we lost it. That lost knowledge is what I am giving you. So as Surya told to Manu, with the same spirit I am giving you. You are not learning it from another king. You are learning from God himself, who is equivalent to sun, the Surya. Vishnu is equivalent to sun. Evam parampara praptvam imam rajarshayo viduhu sa कालेनेह महता योगो नष्ट परन्तपा. The history of Bhagavad Gita. Somebody asked, what is the history of Bhagavad Gita? Chapter number 4, sloka number 2. Not enough. Bhagavan is continuing. Why that special thing I am giving it to you? That is what he is explaining in the next. It's so great. Why I should give you this? There are so many other people. Why you have been selected? Now, verse number 3. Sa evayam maya tedya yoga prakta puradana bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam heda uttamam. Rahasyam heda uttamam. The secret thing, the best, heda uttamam, the supreme. This is what is the supreme and the most secret which I am telling you now. Bhaktosi me sakha cheti. Why am I telling you this? Therefore I am telling you this. Why? What is that therefore? Bhaktosi. You are a devotee to me. Already you surrendered to me. You already told you are my guru. I am surrendering it to you. Please guide me. Because you surrendered to me, you became my disciple. I will tell you the secret. Otherwise secrets are not to be told. Me sakha, and also you are my friend. You are very close to me. With these two reasons, I am telling you this. Sa evayam maya dedya. Sa evayam, certainly I am this. Maya, I am unto you. Te, to you. Adya, today. Today I am going to tell you this. Yoga Prakta Puratana. What is this? Told by Prakta. By whom? Ancient Puratana. Revealed by Puratana people. Prakta, what is revealed? Puratana, old, traditional. Yogaha, the science of yoga. The secret of transcendental and reaching to the highest higherwood. Reaching to that godhood, the realization secret, the yoga, the rahasyam. Sa evayam maya dedya. To whom? Bhaktosi me sakha cheti. You are my devotee and you are very close to me. With these two reasons, rahasyam heda duttamam. Certainly, that rahasyam, that secret, Bhagavan very rarely used the word rahasyam. He used different words. Another word what he used is guhyam, guhyataram, guhyatamam. Many words are used. Here directly he says it is secret. Guhyam is much higher than secret. So here I am telling you the secret. But then having told the secret, he will tell you this is the topmost secret. We have got a different classification in government, confidential, secret. No, similarly, Bhagavan also has got a different guhyataram, guhyatamam, guhyatamam, guhyataram. Guhyatamam is lower, guhyataram, superlative degree, comparative degree. All that is that. Sa evayam maya didya yoga prakta puratana bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam heda duttamam. Now, when the secret things and all being told to Arjuna, Arjuna had a doubt. Why this man is telling me the secrets? Arjuna uvacha, sloka number 4. Arjuna uvacha aparam bhavato janma param janma vivaswataha kathametat vijaniyam tvamadau proktavaniti. Arjuna uvacha aparam bhavado janma param janma vivaswataha katha metat vijaniyam tvamadau proktavaniti. Arjuna got a doubt. What is his doubt now? What aparam bhavato janma? You said you belong to that tradition. You belong to the earlier Surya Vamsha, and then you had this. Then Param Janma Vivaswata, that sun god described this. Kathametat Vijaniyam. How that? How can I understand that this has happened? You are telling that you had an earlier Janma, and then that Janma you told to somebody and all that. Tvamado proktavadini. Tell me how from the beginning, who taught and why it is like this. You instructed this science to him as Bhagavan. You instructed this to, or son instructed to Manu, and you have taken different births. How can I understand? How am I here to understand the story of tradition of all this? As an Arjuna, being a human, you are a god, you can explain this. Why only that you told only to me? Earlier only Surya told to somebody, and that came to Manu to Ishwagu, all that you said. Why? Aparam, Arjuna's doubt is that aparam bhavato janma. You have taken such birth. How do I know that you have taken such birth? Why you had such birth earlier? Why you told only to one? Why are you only telling me param janma vivaswata? In earlier janma you were vivaswata. That is what you said. You belong to that Surya. Kathame dat vijaniyam. That, how am I able to understand this? How are you going to explain this to me? How are you going to make me convince? Tvamado proktavaniti. Please tell me from the beginning. Similar question Bhagavan is asking Krishna to tell it explicitly, show who are you. That is where Bhagavan is showing the Vishwarupa. So this sloka can be seen as a intro to that which comes in the Vishwarupam. Right? So, but here it's only a preliminary thing. So what is that Arjuna says? Aparam bhavato janma param janma vivaswata katame tat vijaniyam tvamado proktavaniti. This is the secret, confidential knowledge which he is transferring. But exactly, I already mentioned the Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yogam, which is the 9th chapter. Bhagavan explicitly will tell idam dute guhyatamam. This is what is guhya knowledge. So far what I told is, that means up to 8th chapter what he told. That is how the sloka starts. Like here the sloka started. There 9th chapter Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga. What is Rajavidya? The topmost knowledge. And then Rajaguhya knowledge. What is Rajaguhya knowledge? The most secret knowledge. That which is required to make you the Rajarshi Padavi. Where the traditional people who are all Rajarshis, that is what Bhagavan said, that he will establish there. Then Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Midamuttamam. The most best knowledge in the world is Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yogam. What is the purpose of that? Susukham Kartumavyayam. With that, all the dharma, Pratyakshavagatam dharmam, all the dharmam what you do, in explicitly you will be able to see that the beauty of it, and sasukham kartumavyayam. You will be able to transact everyday action with full calm, cool manas. That's what Bhagavan says. But then he didn't stop there. he goes to the Vishwarupa Darshanam. As now the Bhagavan is asked by Arjuna, how do I know that you belong to that tradition, sort of a question. It's actually questioning the ability of Krishna, sort of a thing. The same thing happens there just before the Vishwarupa Darshanam. Arjuna is asking, to know you, that Guhyamadhyatma Sanjidam, you have full of concentrated secret inside you. Madanugrahaya Paramam. With that, you give me the blessing. Then, Mohayam Vigato Mama. To get into me that illusionary world of your Maya, please take me up by showing your Vishwarupa. I want to have the darshanam. That's why it is called Vishwarupa Darshana Yogam. So here, Arjuna is giving an introductory question. There, it takes another 7 chapters, because that is where the bhakti will start getting introduced. Not enough. There he is explaining it is only Guhyatamam. Rajavidya Raja Guhya Yogam, 9th chapter. But when it ends, that is the middle of the chapter. In the center of Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, it becomes Guhyatamam. So 18th chapter, it should become the superlative degree, Guhyataram. Idite Jnanamakhyadam, 63rd sloka. Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, the beautiful sloka. Idite Jnanam, that's the end of it. Idite Jnanamakhyadam, this is what I am trying to tell you. This is what I taught you. All that what I want to tell you, I finished telling you. Guhyat, Guhyataram Maya. The secret of the secret. Guhyat, Guhyataram. Superlative degree is used. Before that, one secret is also used. The top secret, secret of the secrets. Maya Vimushadi Dasheshena Yadeshchati Tata Kuru. That now you dissect yourself, look at it, contemplate on that, think about it, and then decide what is to be done. It is not Bhagavan alone. Later again, you can see in 18th chapter, few slokas up to 75, 68 and 75 also you can see where Bhagavan is, where Sanjaya is explaining that this is most secret, the secret of the secret. This is how the people have to understand. Though it is secret, why you are eligible to know this? Because you are introduced to Bhagavad Gita. And that will come only up to the last chapter. If you follow this Bhagavad Gita thoroughly, then you will be eligible to learn all the secrets. Or if you finished Bhagavad Gita, you learned the most secret thing in the world. That is what Bhagavan wanted to tell us. Now, having asked, what is that makes you qualified? What is that you think I am qualified to tell this? Every Shishya can ask. Every Shishya can question the Guru. What is that your qualification? Then you must be able to tell, I belong to Brahmasri KPC Anjan Bhattacharya is my Guru. Mahamandaleshwar Swami Vedabharati is my Guru. That is why Dr. TPS can now tell this. I must tell my parampara. Similarly, I am sure Krishna, though he is Bhagavan himself, he is supposed to tell his parampara. That's what he has done. How do I know that this is correct? Every Shishya, every disciple can question the Guru's qualification. I told you earlier also, it is not selecting Shishya is important. The disciple selecting the Guru is important. With knowing, with that knowledge only, Arjuna surrendered. But now, to give you this knowledge, what is your qualification? Where did you get this? Sort of a thing. That is what, whenever somebody is trying to teach or somebody is trying to explain, somebody is explaining it, not even trying, when explaining it or interpreting it, you must have a tradition to tell that I learned from this. Who is my person whom I taught? And you must get their consent for doing this sort of a job. That is where the hierarchy is what is Bhagavan trying to establish here. Bhagavan Uvacha. Now the Bhagavan says. What is Bhagavan says now? Bhagavan Uvacha. Bahuni me viditani janmani tavajarjuna tanyaham veda sarvani natvam vedha parantapa bahuni me vetinani many ways bahuni many ways me vetitani many ways I have passed, different janmas I completed. Janmani tavajarjuna, different janma birth I have taken. Tava, similarly, tava Arjuna, you also took a lot of janmas, Arjuna. Tanyaham veda sarvani, my janma related to my parampara, I am aware. I know that I have gone through all these janmas. Tanyaham, about me and my previous janma, Veda, I know, Sarvani, all knowledge I have. But what is your problem, Arjuna? Natvam Vetha Parandapa. But you don't know, Arjuna, about your previous janma. Arjuna, you are not aware of your earlier janmas. I know my earlier janma. Arjuna, you don't know your earlier janma. That is the difference. That is why you are asking this question. You don't remember your earlier janma. Me, I am able to remember. That is what Bhagavan says. Now here, Bhagavan is not claiming that I have taken birth and I know. No. You are also qualified because you have taken birth and we have a relation. Earlier janma, there is a relation. Look at my poetry, Arrow from Shadow. From one janma to another janma, the relationship is established there in that poetry. Right? I am not spending time here for explaining it. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Bahuni me vetitani janmani tavajarjuna. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Bahuni me vetitani janmani tavajarjuna. Tanyaham veda sarvani natvam vetha parandapa. Now you don't know, I know. That is the only difference. That's what Bhagavan says. Now, verse number 6. What is that here Bhagavan says? I took multiple rebirths and I am able to remember. Now Bhagavan is declaring, why am I able to remember this and why you are not able to remember that reason. Now here, this is a prologue. This is actually a introduction, a trailer for the Vishwarupa Darshanam. When Bhagavan says himself that I have taken birth and I am equivalent to sun, and this tradition is where I belong to, and that is my credit of telling you this, it's actually Vishwarupa Darshanam in verbal, but actual Darshanam will come in the physical form after 7 chapters, 11th chapter. Now here, the 6th sloka. Ajobi sannavya yatma bhudanam ishvaro visan prakritim swamadhisthaya sambhavamyatma Mayaya Ajobi sannavyayatma Bhutanam Ishwaropisan Prakritim Swamadhisthaya Sambhavamyatma Mayaya. Sambhavat Atma Mayaya. Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. But what is that? How is it possible to do that? How is the manifestation? Sambhavami means manifestation. How is it possible to manifest? Yuge Yuge, every yuga. Why is it possible? Atma Maya. The ability of Atma Maya, the self Maya, the Yoga Maya power. The divine power of Bhagavan is called Yoga Maya. With that Yoga Maya power, Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. With that Sambhava Atma Mayaya Sambhavami Atmamaya. How is it possible? Ajobi Sannavyayatma. Ajobi, Ajaha, taking birth. The unborn, as inside, as the seed. Api, now, being so, what happens? Avyayam Atma, that nature, Avyayam, Aksharam, imperishable. Bhudanam Ishwaro Api San. Bhudanam, with all the living being, the Lord Ishwara, Api, although it is there, it is present everywhere. Prakritim Swamadhishtaya, the nature is inside itself, situated inside. Where is that inside? And that is in myself. All the Prakriti is sitting inside me. And then I manifest myself with my Yogamaya whenever I require, whenever there is a requirement. Not whenever there is a requirement alone. Whenever there is a requirement, whenever I require it, whenever I feel it. There is a problem, I will reach there. No. There is a problem. If I think I have to be there, I will reach there. That's all the guarantee. So I take rebirth as and when it is required. Not by you people, by me. That is what Bhagavan says. Right? I am entitled for all the living being, and I am the imperishable, and I don't disappear. I am there in each part of the nature. But I may not appear. But I appear in the world by virtue of Yogamaya. That means what? I am staying in this world. I am not vanishing from the world and taking a rebirth here. That's what Bhagavan says. I am not going from here. I am not coming here also. I am hiding. And I appear sometime. It's a hide and seek sort of a play which I am playing. I will come whenever there is a requirement. My divine power will come, make me to come appear with my Yogamaya whenever it is required. I am not as an individual whom you are seeing now. Now I appeared in front of you in my form. That is it. But otherwise I am formless. I am timeless. I can be wherever I want. I don't have to take a Janma to come here. I can appear where I want. So, but here now I am in this form. That is it. Ajobi Sannavya Yatma Bhudanam Ishwarobi San Prakritim Swamadhishtaya Sambhavyam Sambhavami Atmamaya Sambhavami Atmamaya. This is what Bhagavan says. Now, sloka number 7. Now the periodic descending of the Bhagavan with whatever is that he explained as transcendental nature with the transcendental knowledge, with the supreme power which he has got, that Maya Yogam. Wherever he is thinking that he has to come back for the establishment of the Dharma, for the religious principles, where the rituals have to be established, where Dharma has to be established, where activities has to be Dharmas, where action has to be established. That is why I am here. That is why during Kurukshetra war, there is an adharma happening in the Kuru Vamsha. Kuru Vamsha was properly running, but some jerking has happened in Dharma. That turbulence I have to stop. That is why I am here. That is what Bhagavan straight away telling Arjuna. Arjuna is asking, why to me? Why now? Why are you telling this tradition and history and all that? Why now? Why you? Why me? Tell me, why are you telling me this? So explicitly the reason is told. That is because it is essential. I will come out from my Maya world. With my yogic power, the yoga power, I will come out at some time. Now, the 7th sloka. Yatha yatha hi dharmasya glanirbhavati bharata abhyuddhanamadarmasya tatatmanam srujamyaham. Yatha yatha hi dharmasya. Yatha yatha, whenever. He, certainly. Dharmasya, for right actions to be established. Dharmasya, righteousness to establish. Whatever dharma has to establish. Yatha yatha hi dharmasya, certainly wherever righteousness has to be established, whenever it is required. Glanir bhavati bharata, whenever it has got a decline. Hey Bharata, hey Arjuna, the descendant of Bharat, because it is in Bharata Vamsham where the Kuru Vamsham where this has happened. Abhyuddha anamatarmasya, to increase it, abhyuddhanam, to make it to up, abhyuddhanam, adharmasya, from that non-rightful things what is happening from the adharma, to take it up, to increase it to the highest level, from that ditch, to bring it up. Tatatmanam srujamyaham, at that time, me, atmanam, me, myself, from the Maya world, srujamyaham, I will manifest. As I am now in front of you, manifested whenever there is a decline of righteousness, as you are seeing it is happening now, to increase the rightfulness. O Arjuna, I will manifest, and that is why I am here. So wherever the dharma chidi happens, the adhapatanam for the dharma happens. Wherever there is a requirement of me coming in the body form, manifesting means taking the birth, manifesting to show you my form. That is why I am here. This is one of the most important sloka. Chapter number 4, sloka number 7. Now the next one, much more important. The 8th as a continuation. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Paritranaya sadhunam, paritranaya, to protect. Sadhunam, who is sadhu? Who follows the right path, the dharmic path, the righteous people, the saintly people, they are sadhus. Paritranaya sadhunam, to protect the saintly people, the saintly activities, not people alone, saintly activities. Sadhunam, all the righteous principles, dharma. Vinashaya chadushkritam, how do I protect them? Dushkritam, the wicked people, the people who are doing wickedness. What should I do? Vinasham. It is not protecting, it is also destroying the wicked people, the bad fellows to be destroyed, and the right people must be brought up. Those two activities I will do. For what purpose? Is it to protect the people? No, it is not for protecting individuals. That's not my concern at all. Because you will have many janma. With good satsang, you can also change. But what will not change? Dharma samsthapanarthaya. For the common people, what is that requirement? I must get a dharma samsthapanam. Sanatana dharma is to be established. Dharma samsthapanarthaya. For that purpose, for establishing the dharmic way of life, sambhavami yuge yuge, I appear in yuga after yuga, age after age, to establish the principles of dharma, to protect the right people, to annihilate, to remove, and to re-establish dharma. That means some chuti must have happened, some chayam must have happened for dharma. When the chayam happens for dharma, I appear here and I will make dharma to establish again. That is the purpose of my birth. So here Bhagavan establishes the reason for him to come. Now, exact transcendental nature of Bhagavan, all that will come. Now what is that Bhagavan says here? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. It happens. The vidada, that is The part of what is to happen is what is happening. So this is what Bhagavan is establishing, and then what is he saying. And therefore, what Bhagavan says, whatever message I am saying is not mine, Arjuna. It comes from the tradition we all belong to. We both belong to that category. You are not remembering, but I am remembering. That's only difference. Therefore, we will now chant the slokas from Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yogam, also called Jnana Yogam. In the whatever has been told earlier, he is establishing the reason and what eligibility he has got to tell his hierarchy. We have seen that. Let us chant this sloka once again and then understand. And probably we are blessed to see what Bhagavan wants to tell further, so that understanding now Bhagavan is not that small a person, we must actually take his message. So these slokas are to establish his tradition and parampara. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Imam Vivaswate Yogam Praktavana Ahamavyayam Vivaswan Manave Praha Manurichwaga Meva Bravit Evam Parampara Praptam Imam Rajarshayo Vidu Sa Kale Neha Mahata Yogo Nashta Parantapa Sa Evayam Maya Tedya Yoga Prokta Puratanaha Bhaktosi me Sakha Cheti Rahasyam Hedaduttamam. Arjuna Uvacha Aparam Bhavato Janma Param Janma Vivaswataha Kata Metat Vijaniyam Tvamedau Proktavaniti. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Bahuni me Vriti Tani Janmani Tavacharjunam Tanyaham Veda Sarvani Natvam Vetha Parandapam Ajopi Sannava Yatma Bhutana Ishwaropi San Prakritim Swamadhishtaya Sambhavamyatma Mayaya Yatha hi dharmasya Glanir bhavati bharata Abhyuthana adharmasya Tatatmanam srijamyaham Paritranaya sadhunam Vinashaya chadushkritam Dharma samsthapanarthaya Sambhavami yuge yuge. Thank you.